Hey everyone, welcome back to Wanderlux Diaries. In today's video, we're counting down the top US cities with the cheapest rent right now in fall 2025. Every city is backed by the latest rental affordability data from major studies. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's talk about rent. Across much of the United States in 2025, rents have been climbing at record pace, especially in big coastal metros like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, where many tenants are paying more than 30 to even 40% of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. That's way above the affordability standard defined by housing experts and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which say rent should ideally stay below 30% of your income, just to keep a roof over their heads. That's way above the affordability standard defined by housing experts and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which say rent should ideally stay below 30% of your income. But here's the good news. Not every city in America will drain your bank account. In fact, there are still places where you can find comfortable, safe housing at a fraction of the cost compared to the national average. And in some of these cities, not only are rents lower, but your income actually goes further, meaning you get more breathing room for savings, travel, or just enjoying life without the constant stress of bills. Every city on this list is backed by solid data, drawing from WalletHub's 2025 rent-to-income affordability rankings, Apartment Advisor's most recent rental price reports, and CoStar's National Housing Trend Analysis. This isn't guesswork, it's real data from the most trusted housing research sources. So grab a notebook, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which U.S. cities give you the best bang for your buck when it comes to rent in fall 2025. And some of these might surprise you. Let's dive in. First, cities where rent eats the smallest slice of your paycheck, based on WalletHub's 2025 rankings, comparing median annual gross rent to median household income. Number 1 is Bismarck, North Dakota. Bismarck takes the crown as the number 1 most affordable city for renters in America in 2025, with rent consuming just 15.34% of the median household income. This means that, on average, Bismarck residents are paying half of what renters in expensive coastal cities like Miami or New York hand over each month. What's interesting is that Bismarck's edge doesn't come from having rock-bottom rents. Instead, it's the balance between modest rents and comparatively strong local incomes that makes housing so affordable here. According to WalletHub's analysis, while you can find cheaper absolute rents in some Midwest or Southern markets, those cities also tend to have lower wages. Bismarck stands out because the city has a relatively solid income base, driven by its role as the state capital and its mix of stable industries. Typical rent in Bismarck by fall 2025. Average one-bedroom apartments in Bismarck rent for around $900 to $1,050 per month, depending on location. That's higher than places like Wichita, Kansas, or Toledo, Ohio, but with median household incomes hovering above $70,000 annually. Renters here enjoy far more breathing room. Bismarck's economy is fueled by government, healthcare, energy, and education. Sanford Health and Chi St. Alexius are major employers, and the city benefits from the oil and gas industry in the broader Bakken region. These sectors help keep wages steady and support a middle-class lifestyle that matches the cost of living. Beyond the numbers, Bismarck offers a lifestyle that's attractive to people who want affordability plus livability. The city has a small-town feel, but with the amenities of a regional hub, solid schools, outdoor recreation along the Missouri River, and a growing arts and restaurant scene. Winters can be harsh, but for those who don't mind the cold, the trade-off is affordable housing and low stress compared to high-cost urban centers. The bottom line is, Bismarck shows how affordability is not just about rent being cheap, it's about the ratio of rent to what people earn. Here, renters keep more of their paycheck, leaving money for savings, family, or even investment in property. For anyone weighing a move in fall 2025, Bismarck is proof that you don't have to sacrifice income to find reasonable housing. 2. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Falls lands at number 2 on WalletHub's 2025 list of the most affordable cities for renters, with rent taking up just 15.95% of the median household income. That puts it right behind Bismarck and makes it one of the strongest affordability stories in the entire country. Why it ranks so high? Like Bismarck, Sioux Falls' secret isn't having the absolute lowest rents, but instead offering a balance between moderate housing costs and strong local incomes. In fact, Sioux Falls is one of the fastest growing cities in the upper Midwest, both in population and economic development, which helps keep wages competitive. Despite that growth, housing supply has kept pace, preventing the kind of rent spike seen in many other U.S. metros. Typical rent. As of fall 2025, the average one-bedroom apartment in Sioux Falls rents for around $830 to $950 per month, while two bedrooms average closer to $1,050 to $1,200. Those numbers are slightly higher than ultra-cheap Midwest cities like Toledo or Wichita, but still well below the national median. And when you factor in that median household incomes in Sioux Falls hover above $65,000 per year, the rent-to-income ratio stays extremely favorable. Sioux Falls is often called the economic engine of South Dakota, with a diverse job market anchored by finance, healthcare, and retail. The city is home to major regional health systems like Sanford Health and Avera Health, as well as a large financial services sector. Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and several other major players have operations here thanks to the state's business-friendly banking regulations. This stable job base translates directly into steady wages that support affordable living. Sioux Falls consistently ranks high for quality of life in the Midwest. Residents enjoy a revitalized downtown, a growing restaurant and brewery scene, and access to outdoor recreation through more than 80 parks and the scenic Falls Park along the Big Sioux River. The cost of living overall, from groceries to transportation, is also below the national average, giving renters even more breathing room in their budgets. Another important note is that Sioux Falls has been one of the fastest growing small cities in America over the past decade. Its population has surged past 210,000 people in 2025, up significantly from just over 150,000 in 2010. That growth shows people are actively moving here for the affordability and opportunities, yet the city has still managed to keep housing accessible. 3. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Cheyenne ranks number 3 nationwide on WalletHub's 2025 rent-to-income list, with renters here spending just 16.09% of the median household income on rent. That makes it one of the most affordable housing markets in the entire Mountain West, a region where affordability has otherwise been shrinking rapidly. Why it stands out? Cheyenne doesn't have the cheapest rents in the country, but like Bismarck and Sioux Falls, it benefits from solid local incomes relative to rent costs. Many Mountain West cities, think Denver, Boise, or Salt Lake City, have seen rents explode over the last decade due to population booms. Cheyenne has grown too, but much more steadily, allowing housing development to keep pace with demand. That balance keeps the rent-to-income ratio healthier here than in many neighboring metros. Typical rent. As of fall 2025, a one-bedroom apartment in Cheyenne typically rents for $950 to $1,100 per month, while a two-bedroom averages around $1,250 to $1,400. These rents are higher than what you'll see in parts of the Midwest, but with median household incomes near $70,000, renters still have breathing room. Cheyenne is both the state capital of Wyoming and a regional hub for transportation, energy, and government jobs. The city benefits from its location at the crossroads of Interstate 25 and Interstate 80, making it a major logistics and distribution point. Key sectors include government and military. F.E. Warren Air Force Base is one of the largest employers. Energy. Wyoming is a top coal, oil, and natural gas producer, and those industries provide high-paying jobs. Transportation and logistics. The Union Pacific Railroad and related industries remain central to the local economy. This mix gives Cheyenne higher incomes than many cities of its size, which directly supports affordability, lifestyle, and quality of life. Cheyenne is well known for its Western heritage and small city charm. It's famous for hosting Cheyenne Frontier Days, the world's largest outdoor rodeo, which draws huge crowds every summer. Residents enjoy easy access to the outdoors. The Rocky Mountains, hiking trails, and state parks are all close by. Plus, being just 100 miles north of Denver gives locals big city access without big city prices. Cheyenne's population is just over 65,000 residents in 2025, but it's been steadily growing. Importantly, housing development has kept up with that growth better than in many other western metros. That's why rents here have remained relatively moderate, even as nearby Denver skyrocketed. The bottom line is, Cheyenne is one of the rare places in the Mountain West where you can enjoy higher wages, a slower pace of life, and access to outdoor recreation without spending half your paycheck on rent. 4. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Cedar Rapids ranks number 4 in the nation for rental affordability in WalletHub's 2025 study, with renters spending just 16.36% of the median household income on rent. That's well below the national average, where in many cities, households spend 30% or more of their income on rent. Why it's affordable? Cedar Rapids benefits from the classic Midwestern cost structure: affordable housing, modest costs of living, and steady incomes. While it's not the absolute cheapest city for rent, its relatively high median household income, around $65,000 to $67,000, compared to its moderate rents, keeps the rent-to-income ratio among the best in the country. Typical rent. As of fall 2025, the average one-bedroom apartment in Cedar Rapids rents for $850 to $950 per month, while two bedrooms fall in the $1,050 to $1,200 range. Compared to major metros like Chicago or Minneapolis, where rents can easily run double those numbers, Cedar Rapids offers a much more accessible housing market. Cedar Rapids has a diverse economy that blends manufacturing, agriculture, and technology. It's home to major food processing companies, including Quaker Oats and General Mills, making it one of the leading food production hubs in the United States. Other strong sectors include aerospace and defense manufacturing, healthcare, and insurance. With this mix, the city maintains relatively stable and middle-income wages that support affordability. Known as the City of Five Seasons, Cedar Rapids promotes the idea of having time not just for work, but also for enjoying life. The city has a vibrant cultural scene with museums, theaters, and music venues, as well as plenty of green space along the Cedar River. Residents enjoy both suburban comforts and an emerging downtown with revitalized housing and entertainment options. Cedar Rapids has a population of about 138,000 in 2025, making it Iowa's second largest city after Des Moines. Despite modest population growth, the city has avoided the extreme housing shortages seen in many parts of the country. New developments and a relatively steady housing supply have kept rents manageable. Cost of living. Beyond rent, day-to-day living expenses in Cedar Rapids, from groceries to utilities, remain well below the national average. This means that renters here not only save on housing, but also stretch their money further in all aspects of life. The bottom line is Cedar Rapids exemplifies the Midwest's affordability advantage. With rent at just over 16% of median income, it allows renters to enjoy a balanced lifestyle without financial strain. For anyone seeking a safe, mid-sized city with affordable housing, a stable job market, and a reasonable cost of living, Cedar Rapids is one of the strongest options in the United States in fall 2025. 5. Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo checks in at 16.65% on WalletHub's 2025 rent-to-income ranking, meaning renters in Fargo spend about 16.65% of median household income on rent, one of the lowest shares in the United States, and the reason Fargo appears in WalletHub's top 5 most affordable cities for renters. What that percentage actually implies: quick math. Using the United States Census Bureau's Quick Facts median household income for Fargo of $66,029, 2019 to 2023 estimate, 16.65% of that equals about $10,993.83 per year, which is approximately $916 per month in rent. The Census Bureau's City Profile page shows an alternate ACS estimate of $61,422 for median household income. Using that number, 16.65% of $61,422 equals approximately $10,226.76 per year, or approximately $852 per month. This explains why reported typical rents can look different depending on which income dataset you pair with WalletHub's ratio. How that lines up with actual market rents. Multiple rental data services report Fargo's typical one-bedroom rents in a band that fits the math above. Apartments.com lists an average one-bedroom around $919, August 2025 snapshot. Zillow's rental summary shows an average in the $950 to $1,000 range. And Rent Cafe neighborhood data reports citywide averages that vary by quarter, but commonly fall between $780 to $1,120, depending on area and apartment type. In short, WalletHub's percentage mirrors real-world rents in Fargo when paired with plausible median incomes. Why Fargo's rent burden stays low. Stable, diversified local economy. Fargo's job base includes large health systems, higher education, insurance, manufacturing, and rising tech/finance operations. Sanford Health, the region's largest employer, and North Dakota State University are anchors that support steady wages and year-round employment. Those steady incomes are a big part of why rent consumes a smaller share of paychecks here. Population growth with expanding housing stock. Fargo has grown rapidly since 2020 census, about 125,990, with estimates and projections putting the city in the 130,000 to 138,000 range by 2024 to 2025 as people move for jobs and university ties. Local development, new apartments, infill, and suburban expansion has helped add supply, so rents haven't exploded as they did in certain coastal metros. Estimates vary by source. See census and population projections. Typical renter profile and neighborhoods. Students and young professionals, NDSU and other colleges, plus families and healthcare workers make up much of the renter pool. Popular rental neighborhoods include downtown Fargo, higher-end new builds, West Acres or West Fargo suburbs, more affordable, family-friendly, and areas near NDSU. Rent Cafe and local listings show notable variance by neighborhood. Downtown and new luxury units push averages up, while older stock and suburban units keep citywide averages affordable. Quality of life and extras to consider. Fargo offers a lively small city scene, a growing downtown, arts and music festivals, the Fargo Dome, and easy access to regional outdoor activities, all at a cost of living that still undercuts most coastal metros. That combination, amenities plus affordability, is a major draw for movers and remote workers. Bottom line is, Fargo's inclusion at 16.65% on WalletHub's list isn't a fluke. It's a product of solid local wages plus rental prices. If you want a place with job stability, healthcare, university, manufacturing, and growing tech, a lively small city life, and rents that free up hundreds of dollars a month for savings or living, Fargo is one of the best bargains in America in fall 2025. 6. Charleston, West Virginia. WalletHub's 2025 affordability ranking places Charleston, West Virginia at 16.70% rent-to-income ratio, meaning the average renter here spends just about 1/6 of their household income on rent. That positions Charleston immediately behind Fargo on WalletHub's national list of best rent-to-income cities. Breaking down the numbers. The U.S. Census Bureau's median household income for Charleston is reported at $56,571, 2019 to 2023 ACS 5-year estimate. Applying WalletHub's 16.70% ratio, that equates to roughly $9,448 annually, or about $787 per month in rent. Apartment rental platforms confirm this is realistic. Apartments.com lists typical one-bedroom rents in Charleston averaging around $820 to $900, while Rent Cafe's August 2025 data shows the average apartment rent at $929, with many older or suburban units still available under $800. Why Charleston ranks high in affordability. Stable housing stock. Charleston has not seen the kind of runaway rent spikes common in major metros. A combination of slow population growth, aging but steady housing supply, and relatively low demand compared to hot coastal cities has kept rents grounded. Wages relative to cost of living. While incomes are below the national median, rents are even lower, making the rent-to-income ratio surprisingly favorable. Wallet Hub's metric captures this balance, showing that local wages stretch further when it comes to rent here. Economic anchors. The city's economy has transitioned from coal-heavy to a mix of healthcare, government, education, and small business services. West Virginia University's health system and the state government are major stabilizers, helping prevent steep fluctuations in household income. Quality of life and renter profile. Charleston offers a small city lifestyle with access to the outdoors. The Appalachian Mountains and Kanawha River frame the city, making it attractive for those who value nature and a slower pace of life. Renters are often a mix of young professionals, families, and retirees seeking affordability. Neighborhoods like Kanawha City and South Hills offer different housing profiles, from affordable apartments to family-friendly rentals, while downtown provides convenience and historic character at slightly higher prices. What to watch for? Job market constraints. Compared to cities like Fargo or Sioux Falls, Charleston's job market is smaller and less dynamic, which can limit upward income mobility. Housing stock quality. Some of Charleston's rental housing is older, which means lower rent prices may come with trade-offs in modern amenities. Bottom line is, Charleston, West Virginia, lands at 16.70% rent-to-income, making it one of the most affordable places in the U.S. to rent in fall 2025. Here, a typical apartment costs under $800 to $900 a month, far less than what you'd pay in most American cities. Add in a slower pace of life, Appalachian scenery, and rents that only take a small bite out of your paycheck. And Charleston shows why Wallet Hub ranked it among the top cities for rental affordability this year. 7 is Overland Park, Kansas. In Wallet Hub's 2025 Best and Worst Places to Rent in America, Overland Park, Kansas ranks among the nation's top affordability standouts, with a rent-to-income ratio of 16.81%. That means the typical household here spends just under 17% of income on rent, far below the 30% threshold commonly used to define rent burden. Current rental market data, fall 2025 snapshots. Rent Cafe. Average rent for Overland Park approximately $1,478 per month, with about 45% of units priced under $1,500. Zillow estimates average asking rents around $1,495 to $1,520 per month, depending on unit mix. Apartments.com reports a one-bedroom range of $1,350 to $1,450 in most neighborhoods, with some older units under $1,200. All of these figures fall neatly in line with Wallet Hub's implied monthly average, $1,409, reinforcing the affordability profile. Why Overland Park ranks so well beyond rent numbers? Strong incomes. Overland Park is part of the Kansas City metro area, home to major employers in finance, insurance, healthcare, tech services, and education. The high local median income boosts affordability ratios, even though actual rent levels are above places like Fargo or Casper. Quality of life. Known for excellent schools, low crime rates, and green space, Overland Park consistently appears on best places to live rankings. That stability attracts families and professionals who can afford higher rents, but whose incomes ensure they remain a smaller burden. Balanced housing supply. Unlike coastal metros, Overland Park and Kansas City suburbs still have land for development. Ongoing construction of apartments and townhomes keeps supply from being overly constrained, which helps prevent runaway rent inflation. Caveats and renter tips. Higher absolute rent than smaller Midwest markets. While the percentage is low, renters should note that Overland Park's median rents are higher in dollar terms, $950 to $1,100. Affordability here comes from higher incomes, not dirt cheap rent. Neighborhood variation. Downtown adjacent and newer luxury developments skew higher, $1,700 plus, while older garden-style complexes and townhome rentals in southern neighborhoods can still dip below $1,200. Demand pressure. Its reputation as one of America's most family-friendly suburbs means demand rarely cools. So while rents are affordable relative to income, finding the best deals requires acting fast when units open. Wallet Hub's data shows renters here spend only 16.81% of household income on rent, with a median household income above $100,000 and average rents around $1,400 a month. That combination makes Overland Park unique. While rents aren't the lowest in raw numbers, strong local wages keep the rent burden light. Add in great schools, safety, and steady new housing supply, and Overland Park isn't just affordable, it's one of the best balanced rental markets in the entire U.S. this fall. Number 8 is Juneau, Alaska. Wallet Hub's 2025 rent-to-income ranking places Juneau at 17.45%, meaning the typical renter in Juneau is spending about 17.45% of median household income on rent, far below the rent-burdened 30% guideline. Wallet Hub's ratio uses the city's median household income against median gross rent. Juneau Census or Data USA median household income is $100,513, 2019 to 2023 ACS baseline. Multiplying that income by 0.1745 gives an annual rent of about $17,540, which equals roughly $1,462 per month rounded. How that compares to market listings. Apartments.com reports average apartment rents in Juneau around $1,440 to $1,451 for studios per one-bedrooms in recent market snapshots, almost identical to Wallet Hub's implied monthly rent when paired with the city median income. Zillow and some listing aggregates show higher median or average rents. Zillow's market trends pages have listed figures in the $2,400 to $2,900 range in some snapshots. Those higher numbers typically reflect different mixes, single-family homes, newer luxury units, or a small sample of high-price listings, and can be skewed by seasonal short-term rentals or low inventory. That's why platform averages sometimes diverge, but Wallet Hub's ratio plus Apartments.com's apartment average sit in the same ballpark, approximately $1,450 per month. Why Juneau looks affordable by the ratio. 1. High local median income for a small city. Juneau's median household income, approximately $100,513, is unusually high for a city of its size because of well-paid state and federal government jobs and a strong public sector presence. That higher income denominator is a big reason the rent share drops. 2. Stable apartment stock versus tourist pressure. Long-term apartment rents in Juneau are generally mid-range, approximately $1,400 to $1,500, but the city's heavy tourism, especially cruise ships, injects lots of short-term rental and seasonal demand that can push asking prices on houses and vacation rentals much higher. This splits the market between modest long-term apartments and expensive short-term or seasonal inventory. 3. Constrained geography and transport costs. Juneau is not connected to the North American road network. You can only reach it by plane or ferry, which raises the cost of shipping goods and building materials and drives up the local cost of living. That isolation helps explain why groceries, utilities, and many services are well above the national average, even if apartment rents for standard units remain moderate. Now let's talk about the local economy and who rents here. State government, plus other public sector employers, is the backbone of the economy and supplies many stable, well-paid jobs. Tourism, like cruise visitors and tour operators, is the largest private sector employer during the season. Fishing and some mining also contribute. The mix means good incomes for many households, but also strong seasonal swings in demand. Number 9 is El Paso, Texas. El Paso is consistently ranked as one of the most affordable large cities in the United States, and fall 2025 data confirms it remains a renter's paradise. A typical one-bedroom apartment rents for about $750 to $900 per month, which is hundreds below the national median. Even two-bedroom units often come in under $1,100, making El Paso a rare large metro where families, singles, and students can still find housing at a reasonable price point. What makes El Paso particularly attractive is the balance between affordability and quality of life. The city, with a metro population of around 870,000, sits on the United States-Mexico border across from Ciudad Juarez, creating a unique bicultural atmosphere. Spanish and English blend seamlessly here, and the city's identity is deeply influenced by its Mexican-American heritage. This translates into an exceptional food scene. Some say the best Mexican food in the United States, vibrant festivals, and cultural richness that many pricier cities can't match. Beyond lifestyle, El Paso boasts a low cost of living across the board. Groceries, utilities, and transportation are all cheaper than the national average, allowing residents to stretch their paychecks further. This, combined with affordable rents, makes El Paso a standout for those who want city living without the financial stress. The economy in El Paso is stable and growing, anchored by the military presence of Fort Bliss, one of the largest United States Army bases, which provides tens of thousands of jobs. Healthcare and cross-border trade also play huge roles in the economy, while the University of Texas at El Paso brings in both students and innovation. These factors keep demand steady but not overheated, helping rents stay reasonable compared to booming Texas metros like Austin, Dallas, or Houston. El Paso also offers outdoor access and natural beauty that add to its value. Nestled between the Franklin Mountains and the Rio Grande, residents can hike, bike, and explore desert landscapes minutes from downtown. With more than 300 days of sunshine per year, it's also one of the sunniest cities in America, giving it year-round appeal. Perhaps most importantly, El Paso is safe and community-oriented. It consistently ranks among the safest large cities in the United States, a factor that surprises many outsiders given its border location. For families, affordability plus safety makes it an especially strong option. In short, El Paso proves you don't need to spend thousands a month to enjoy a lively, culturally rich, and well-connected city. With rents still under $1,000, El Paso is one of the last big cities in America where your money goes a long way without compromising lifestyle. Lastly on the list is Toledo, Ohio. Toledo is one of the Midwest's most affordable hidden gems when it comes to housing. As of fall 2025, a one-bedroom apartment in Toledo averages between $727 and $750 per month, which is several $100s less than the national median rent of $1,450 plus. That alone makes it a standout for anyone looking to stretch their housing budget without giving up access to big city amenities. What's remarkable about Toledo is the cost-to-quality ratio. This isn't just a cheap rent city, it's a city where you get a surprising amount of value for what you pay. Nestled along the western tip of Lake Erie, Toledo offers a blend of urban and waterfront living. Residents enjoy access to lakefront activities, parks, and the famous Maumee River waterfront, all while paying rents that are a fraction of what you'd find in Chicago or even nearby Cleveland. The city's economy has been diversifying steadily. While Toledo has deep roots in manufacturing, especially the auto industry, it's also growing in healthcare, logistics, and solar energy production. The University of Toledo and a strong network of community colleges feed into local industries, keeping the workforce pipeline strong. With a metro population of around 600,000, Toledo has the infrastructure of a larger city, but the affordability of a small town. From a lifestyle perspective, Toledo punches above its weight. The Toledo Museum of Art is world-class and free to visit. The Toledo Zoo and Aquarium is nationally recognized. And the city hosts a vibrant food scene with Midwest comfort mixed with global influences. Sports fans can catch Mud Hens baseball or drive just an hour to Detroit for major league events. Another key factor, home ownership is accessible here. The median home price in Toledo hovers around $130,000 to $150,000, making it one of the most affordable big city real estate markets in the United States. For renters, that keeps upward pressure on rent in check, since buying remains a viable alternative. Toledo delivers lakeside living, cultural amenities, and big city energy at bargain prices. For anyone priced out of coastal or Sunbelt markets, Toledo offers a chance to live well, save money, and still have access to both nature and city life. And that wraps up our list of the top 15 cities with the cheapest rent in fall 2025. From Bismarck's unbeatable rent-to-income ratio to Huntsville's perfect balance of affordability and booming opportunity, these cities prove you don't have to sacrifice lifestyle for low housing costs. If you're thinking of relocating or just curious about where your dollar goes the farthest, these are the places to keep on your radar right now. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest updates and smart living tips. Your support helps us bring you more content that makes life more affordable and a little bit easier.